Hi, Capricorn. All right, how you doing? Oh, the magnolia tree is blooming. How many are there that are open? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I just smell them too. It smells so good. It's nice when things open up, right? It's been a whole year since um, they were open, so what a nice, well, I guess what a good omen for you. Um, all right. So Capricorn, welcome to this time. If you're new or returning, just in case you know, I tend to Capricorn and I tend to connect strongly. So either way, I just want to let everyone know that I did a whole bunch of extra readings for this time frame, and I'm going to be putting those over on Patreon. So if you're over there, those will be up this weekend, and this is Friday when I'm talking about this. And if you'd like to check those out, because it's kind of like some of them were just a little bit more of an extra layer of what's going on. I feel like we always talk about what's beneath the surface because we don't keep it surface here. Good. That's how you get real, right? But there's like extra layers, but then there's extra like going into like love, more personal things. I just feel like that should be discussed in a private place versus so public. So if you're not a part of that place, if you join the Timeless Traveler, you'll get access to all of them and everything else that's been up there previously. So just wanted to share the good news. So Capricorn, you have 3 little piles here, and we're using purely animal cards, which I like for you. So, oh, Froggy, cute. All right, Capricorn. Let me tune in a second because it's always a little different when it's purely animals. Okay, so I see some really good soil here, meaning it's like so I see healthy soil, I see there's good fresh water, and good reflection. I also see like a butterfly or like something that's like iridescent blue, like black and blue. Now, I feel like if you're in a relationship right now, well, how do I explain this? Well, you want to remember, try to remind yourself in this time, like, please remind yourself that the soil is good, right? You have earthworm here, which whenever you dig, right, you dig in the earth, and there are earthworms there, that means that it's really healthy, right? This isn't toxic soil. It's not all arid and lifeless. This is like you could put any seed in here right now. You could plant. It's a good time to plant. That's the point. Plant your seeds. Plant your seeds. And for some of you, this could be planting a seed in relation to love. The swan to me is like soulmate energy, or also just like finding love in how you've been growing as a person and how you would like that to now connect with other people, right? Maybe some of you have been single or solo for a long time, and depending on the amount of reflection, and again, you know your soil and what's going on there, what you're standing upon and what you are really working with. But I see that, again, it is a very good time to plant and to open up. You know, maybe that's a part, again, if some of you have been, whether you're in a relationship or not, it could be like, you know, if you've been being a little bit reserved, like, I heard come out, you know. You know, maybe this is one of those things where, like, you know how you work so hard? Like, you work so hard. Someone here works so hard in like this could be one of those things where maybe other people don't exactly like sense or are aware of like what really like you do as a person, like all the levels of it, and like holding it together and tending and you know, because there was something that was arid, there was something that was dry and lifeless, and it's like now there is water, there's earthworms in the soil, there's butterflies coming out of their cocoon. Like this has taken, I heard, a long time to get here. So please also perhaps in this time frame realize, I heard, be a good husband or a good wife to yourself. Like maybe the compliments you're wanting from others, if you're that kind of person, or acknowledgement, like maybe you just need to reinforce that with yourself. And if for some reason this is your love language, where you, maybe that's something to look at. Like if you're a person that wants or needs acknowledgement, well, how do you express going about what you need as a person, emotionally or physically, or spiritually, etc. uh, and make sure that who you're working with too, I feel like the interaction of who you're planting with, like, because I just saw two people planting, right? They're working together on something. So there's that. And then I also see like a future energy where you're like, okay, who do I want to plant with? Where do I want to plant? There's some questions here. So I suppose for now, just remember again, the soil is good. So what do you want to plant? And again, this could be emotional planting, it, physical, what have you. Let's move along. Okay, next little pile here. If you have any people in your life, and I have to preface this, you are your own person. You decide what you want to do with your life. You decide who you want to be friends with and how you spend your time and who you date and all of this stuff. But I actually see that it would be very wise if there are angry people in your life. Not like people that get upset for something that's reasonable, because anger can be righteous. But I'm talking about people that just pop off for no reason, people that gossip, people that drain your energy, people that scare you, like, or threatening or something like this. I heard you have the cobra with the peacock with this card of expiration dates. So I see that someone's fed up with something and they're finally like, okay, no, that's, I heard that has expired, right? Maybe it's just understanding where a relationship, where you and other people are at now. And again, like, I heard finding more of this, like, the songbird, finding more songbirds, you know, people that do encourage you, people that, you know, where it's more mutual, I guess. And I would say if there's anybody, because this would be an energy where, like, it would be exhaustive and a waste of energy to try to convince someone or others of something that you've already had the discussion about. I don't feel like say you can see something but somebody else can't. If there are defensive people, how you try to say something to somebody, you'll be like, it could be the smallest thing, like, well, I saw this example where someone's like, oh, the milk's expired, and someone's like, well, I bought it at the right time. I didn't know that when I bought it. It's like, chill. Like, I feel like there's some energy here that's just crow. It's like, well, I guess this is making boundaries and being conscious, to say, like, no. Now, this doesn't mean someone isn't allowed to get something off their chest, but I would watch people that gossip a lot. I mean, I don't know if maybe you're a gossiper. I don't know. But I suppose we can all talk about other people sometimes, because again, we got to get things off our chest. Scorpion. Um, but remember, what did I read recently? It was pretty, it really got me. It was like anger or like frustration. Like, say when we get mad at somebody else, right? That's like, anger's kind of like poisoning yourself and hoping the other person would die. You know, and I know we can be so frustrated, so maybe you want to figure out how to shake off energy, because all of this over here is so soft, you know, and so this is all very delicate. Okay? I heard the good wife. It's like, this is very delicate. And maybe someone, again, is just done with something that is no longer suiting them. You know, Cobra is a very powerful teacher. It could have to do with K2 also, where it just kind of like, there's maybe a timing, I don't know, maybe this is also getting over, I know lots of maybes. It's, perhaps this is an energy because I'm seeing K2. K2 represents the past. And K2 will be moving into Libra, right? And, or K2 going through Libra energy is actually letting go of relationships that just are unhealthy, you know? And, but remember that all relationships, say of the past up until this point, they do have value. They did serve you. I want you to remember that. And perhaps figuring out what that lesson is, you know, maybe that's one of those things where like maybe there's something that someone was angry about or scared about or didn't know how to talk about, you know, times where maybe someone's upset with themselves because they were pretending, like they felt like they had to pretend who they really were or hide how they really feel. But I suppose that's expiring also. Let's see on the other side, which way. So I guess it would kind of be like, remember there's a choice in expressing oneself, right? And I guess, you know, it's hard to do, and I know I got mad the other day at something, and it takes a while to shift it out of our body, you know. So I guess if you can try to be conscious and be like, okay, if you are ever, whatever the feeling is that doesn't feel good, it's kind of like, well, I heard, what am I mad at myself about? You know? And if there are any people that tend to talk smack about other people a lot, I mean, you want to stay away from gossipers. It's just a natural rule of thumb. But remember that people do tell us who they are a lot, right? You know, say someone's talking about their ex in a bad, angry way. Well, then you're going to know that they're still bothersome by that. And I heard for some of you that is not someone that you should date. You know what I mean? Like, just be conscious, I guess, of that. Now, you have these really cute ones too. All right, now, so there's a little tough spot in the middle, but this is not being stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's actually like beautiful place, a little bit of difficulty in the middle. So I heard, don't let that picker interrupt all the awesome that's happening, right? Okay, so we have Nightingale and the Phoenix. I hope you can see these. Nightingale and the Phoenix with the total eclipse card. So remember, this eclipse season, it happens every year, but I feel like this year is kind of touchy. A little extra touchy. So from April, started in April, and this will go till about October, 6 months. So remember, in that time frame, you will be learning how to sing in a different way. Perhaps some will be learning a lot about communication or love. You know, Nightingale is important to not, and Peacock are both expressive of like being yourself. Okay? You don't gotta pretend to be something. No one has to, there's no pretending needed. right? But there is a big change here. Change in the soul. Perhaps also nightingale to me is like a bluebird in your heart. You know, it's and I heard remember love is always good, but love is always good. Let's period. But when it comes to what's that about? Old ground. Maybe this is about an old relationship. I mean, that could go back to any place. So many birds right now. Oh, that was a little yellow bird. Cute. Okay, so this is a huge change of heart. That's the point. And there will be changes in our relation. I feel like in general, but because it's coming out for you, maybe you want to sing to places inside of yourself where you were scared, or try to soften if you do have any anger. It's a natural emotion, you know, because anger really it's fear. And what is anger and fear? Well, it's sadness, and a good attitude could really help that. Hello. Um, you want to look at the sextiles in your map too. It's it's 60 degrees. What is that for you, Capricorn? Um, Pisces and Scorpio. So what are we talking about? Oh, okay, I see. This is um, having faith. It's having empathy, sympathy, forgiveness, finding the spiritual lessons, having to do with our ex-partners, our ex-spouses, ex-lovers. It could even be like that which is no longer in our life. It could be deep in childhood. Wherever you're taking this, it's finding that space. And honestly, I feel like maybe you want to look at those in your map. If you're unaware of this, again, maybe just ask yourself, like, well, I guess it's about accepting people for who they really are. But not expending your energy in the wrong way. You know what I mean? Towards something that maybe isn't reciprocal, maybe something that, you know, you want to make sure that it's going towards how you want to feel versus how, versus, this is Pisces energy. I heard cracking open the egg of understanding. And I do feel a lot of confidence coming to your heart. If you're a male specifically, I see this as a lot of courage coming to you. Like, and for the women, it's something along the lines of like finding the softness in yourself so you can relax. I mean, this goes both ways, of course, but you know, women and men are set up differently, you know. The bear and the crow. Maybe black animals will be helpful or to pay attention to. Um, you know, bear's very protective. Oh, let's talk about it just in a now sense. Bear to me represents a lot about understanding like when to rest, because it's a big animal, so it expends a lot of energy just doing even small things. Woodpecker, definitely. And how hard you work, goodness gracious. Bear. But Saturn also represents hard work, but both of these together is like, don't burn yourself out by trying to, don't try to push anything in this time, okay? But if there is any feelings where you're like, ooh, you get into that space and it gets tight for some reason, or frustrated, or you're trying to push out an old thing where you're like, all right, I don't want to be bothered by that anymore. You know, I heard I don't want this to affect where it is that I'm going now. Lamb. Lamb also represents waking up early. Actually, all of these, they wake up very early. In the middle of the day, they take a break. And about when the sun sets, they are done with their day. So remember that you are humans are diurnal, which means we are daytime animals. So maybe not eating so late, maybe not staying up so late, right? And I heard, please make sure that you're taking breaks. You trine Taurus energy, and we're in that time right now. So, and they talked a lot about protection. Libra did too, which is a good square to you. So you could go to either one of those. Libra's talked a lot about creativity, and Taurus talked a lot about family. So perhaps that'll give you some of the faith or strength or courage that you're needing in your heart, so that the emotional direction is correct and you don't exert energy unnecessarily like that cobra peacock, right? Okay. Cool. I love that you have the phoenix. That's a beautiful change in the heart with the nightingale. I heard maybe you want to sing yourself, like sing your heart a different song. You know, I heard sing into the future. Sing into the future. And I see you trust yourself as you're going along, and when the emotions come that I heard aren't so pretty, don't deny them. Okay, because they'll just creep up later. Butterfly. That's like sticky stuff on the wings, right? And I heard you want to make sure things are clean, not sticky. Okay. I would also say when you do take a break, especially like when you're eating, you know, really immerse yourself in that, in these in-between spaces, okay? Like, don't be on your phone while you're eating, or like the computer on while dinner, or TV, or whatever. It's just like driving while you're eating or something. It's just like, give yourself some time. Yeah. Give yourself some time, I heard, to digest whatever it is that, whatever it was, because I saw a rainbow here, and to have a rainbow, there's a storm before that comes. And there are two ends to it. So just something to be aware of. And I heard nothing to be scared of. Okay? Okay. I love you, Capricorn. I hope this was helpful. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.